welcome into your January 29th episode of Hoops Talk with Dave. I'm your host, Dave Smith, bringing you all the latest action from college basketball last night, as well as previewing some outstanding action on the slate tonight. Starting with the game of the night yesterday, Kentucky going on the road into Knoxville, beating the Volunteers 78-73, led by 18 points from Kobe Brea. Tennessee was 10.5-point favorites in this game. Kentucky, offense extremely electric. Even though it's only 78 points, that's below Kentucky's standards. But against Tennessee's defense, a great performance for the Wildcats. Staying in the SEC, a couple of more games here. A couple of teams defending their home court, starting in College Station. The Texas A&M Aggies winning 75-68 over the Sooners of Oklahoma there. This game was tight throughout. It was a two-point game with about 4 minutes to go. Texas A&M nonetheless pulls away late and wins by 7. Georgia takes care of business on their home floor against South Carolina. Still winless in the SEC. South Carolina tried to make this one close late, unable to really do so. They brought it within single digits just under a minute to go. But nonetheless, Georgia wins 71-60. And a couple of other top 25 teams who took care of business starting in Allen Fieldhouse. The Kansas Jayhawks played host to the UCF Knights, and UCF gave them everything they could possibly handle. They were up by 2 at half, and it was tight late, but Kansas able to win 91-87 there, protecting their home floor. In the Big East, a couple of road wins here. Marquette 78-69 over the Butler Bulldogs, and Butler up by 7 at halftime. Marquette wins by 16 in the second half, wins the game by 9. A great showing, a very resilient showing for the Marquette Golden Eagles. They move to 18-3 on the year now. And St. John's going on the road to Georgetown, winning by 25 points there, 66-41. They jumped out early. They were up 11-0 to start the game and never looked back. Great look for Patino and St. John's. Michigan State, the Spartans, ranked number 7 right now, win by 22 points over the Minnesota Golden Gophers, winning their 13th straight game. And that is the first time they've won 13 straight games since they made the 2019 Final Four. So those of you thinking about your bracket right now in March, take that note right there for you. They've won 13 straight games for the first time since they made the 2019 Final Four. A couple of fun ones later in the evening. BYU topping Baylor in overtime, 93-89, behind 23 points from Cannon Catchings. He shot 100% from the field. BYU was a 3.5-point favorite in this one. They win by 4 in overtime. In Pittsburgh, the Pitt Panthers holding off UNC 73-65. A great win for Pitt. They needed this one right here. UNC behind Hubert Davis. They are falling further and further out of the tournament picture now, it seems. Not a good look for the UNC Tar Heels. They'll look to get back on track on Saturday as they travel to Durham to take on Duke in a fantastic rivalry game, as always, the UNC Duke game. That one is Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Jumping into some NBA action from last night. The most shocking result of the night, I would say, would be the Trailblazers winning 125-112 over the Milwaukee Bucks. Not a great look for Milwaukee. Giannis had 39 points. Denny Avdija still scoring 30 for Portland there. Portland playing with some resilience. They actually sweep the season series over Milwaukee, winning that one by 13. The Philadelphia 76ers on their home floor against the Los Angeles Lakers. No Joel Embiid. No Paul George, no problem. Tyrese Maxey scores 43 points to lead them to a 14-point win, 118-104 over the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James, 31 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. It was not enough to hold off Maxey there. Once again, he had 43 points to lift the 76ers past the Lakers. And looking at some NBA action on the slate tonight in Miami at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on NBA League Pass. The Heat playing host to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Miami won their first meeting back on December 8th, 122-113. Cleveland's dropped 3 of their last 4 games. Of course, Miami coming off that big double overtime win over Orlando. That'll be a fun one to tune into on League Pass. And for our main games of the evening, ESPN has a doubleheader tonight starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. In New York, the Knicks playing host to the Denver Nuggets. The Knicks sitting as 3.5-point favorites here against Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. The late game at 10 p.m. Eastern, Golden State playing host to the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder, 10.5-point road favorites there. This Thunder team looking outstanding right now, looking good as ever, even without star Chet Holmgren. The Thunder, 10.5-point favorites here. And in college basketball tonight, the game of the night taking place in Starkville, Mississippi. The Mississippi State Bulldogs playing host to the Alabama Crimson Tide. This one at 9 o'clock Eastern on SEC Network. Alabama currently sitting as a 1.5-point favorite. Mississippi State opened as the favorites, but the line has since shifted to Alabama. That one, once again, our game of the night in Starkville at 9 o'clock Eastern on SEC Network. A fun one to watch before that one will be Houston on the road at West Virginia. And this one, obviously Houston coming off a massive double overtime win against Kansas. West Virginia kind of seemingly starting to trend in the wrong direction. It would be the most college basketball thing ever to have West Virginia just beat Houston by 20 points. Do I think it's going to happen? Absolutely not. But would I be shocked? No. This is just how awesome college basketball is this year. And it's so tough winning on the road no matter who you are. But Houston is an 8.5-point favorite for a reason. That one at 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN+. Number 17 ranked Wisconsin on the road to Maryland. This one at 7 o'clock Eastern on the Big Ten Network. Maryland, a 5.5-point home favorite. That is a really fun one to check out there in the Big Ten. Back in the SEC for our final two games here. Auburn, the Tigers on the road at LSU at 7 o'clock Eastern on SEC Network. Auburn sitting as a 12.5-point road favorite. LSU down to 12-7 on the season. They are fighting for their tournament lives. They need to get a big-time win, and taking down the number one team in the country sure would be that big win. And the last game I want to hit on here really quick, number 23, Ole Miss playing host to the Texas Longhorns. Ole Miss, a 6.5-point home favorite. Kind of surprised it's that low, but Texas has been playing some good basketball here recently. They're looking for another big road win. They're kind of on the right side of the bubble right now, in my eyes at least. Some people have them on the wrong side of the bubble, but a big road win like this, a quad one road win for the Texas Longhorns, would help them move the needle. This one at 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. And that wraps up today's episode of Hoops Talk with Dave. I'm your host, Dave Smith, here with you on Wednesday, January 29th. There will not be an episode tomorrow for all the recap of tonight's action on Thursday, January the 30th. I will be back with you Friday, January the 31st, Friday morning, to stay up to date on all the recap of all the action that takes place tonight, as well as the ongoing NBA trade talk rumors, including De'Aaron Fox could be on the move. Be sure to follow me on X or on Twitter, whichever one you prefer to call it, at Dave Smith NBA. I'll be sure to hang out with all of you there. I look forward to speaking with you on Friday. Thanks for tuning in to Hoops Talk with Dave.